So this is the first topic of Form 3 chemistry syllabus, and that is gas laws. And first we will begin with the first law, that is Boyle's law. So Boyle's law generally deals the relationship between volume and pressure at a constant temperature. So it states that the volume of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure at a constant temperature. So the temperature is kept constant. So it states that the volume of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure at a constant temperature. So that means V is inversely proportional to B. So this is volume inversely proportional to pressure. So that means when the volume increases, the pressure decreases, and when the pressure increases, the volume decreases. So they are inversely proportional to one another. So that means now if we express volume that's inversely proportional to pressure mathematically, this becomes volume V is equal to K constant. So we introduce the constant K times 1 over P, that is pressure. So that is the same as V is equal to K all over P. So to have now a constant K on one side, we multiply P and multiply B on both sides. So this will be BV is equal to K, which is a constant. So that means when the volume of the gas changes from V1, that is the first volume, to V2, that is the second volume, the pressure will also change from P1 to P2. So this implies that now P, so that is, we said, when the volume V1 changes, volume changes from V1 to V2 the pressure P1 will also change from P1 to P2. So that means this will give us P1 V1 will be equals to P2 V2, which is equal to what? Constant. Both of them are constant. So the volume changes from V1 to V2. The pressure will also change from P1 to P2. So this will give us now P1 V1 will be equal to P2 V2, which is equal to constant. So this hence will give us P1 V1 is equal to B2 V2. And this is the equation that we will use to solve questions of Boyle's law. Questions of Boyle's law. So that is Boyle's law. We said it deals the relationship between pressure and volume, and the temperature is kept constant. So it states the volume of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure at a constant temperature. So let us see an example concerning Boyle's law. So this is example. Our first example, a gas occupies a gas occupies 12.3 liters at a pressure of 40 millimeter mercury. What is the volume? What is the volume when the pressure increases to 60 millimeter mercury? So that is our example. So the question is saying a gas occupies 12.3 liters at a pressure of 40 millimeter mercury. What is the volume when the pressure increases to 60 millimeter mercury? So first thing we do, let us now identify, let us use what we are given to solve what we are not given. So in this question, we are given our volume, that is the first volume. So we're told a gas occupies 12.3 liters. So this 12.3 liters becomes V1. So Boyle's law, first of all, the equation is P1, V1 is equal to B2, V2. So our V1 is 12.3. V1 is given 12.3 liters. Our P1 is 40 millimeter mercury. P1 is given, that is 40 millimeter mercury. And then we are now asked, what is the volume? That means we are finding V2, that is the second volume. So V2, we don't have. That is what we are finding. And P2 is given 60 millimeter mercury. So P2 is equal to what? 60 millimeter mercury. So we will now use what we are given to solve V2. So let us use our equation, that is B1. V1 is equal to B2 V2. So our P1 is 40 millimeter mercury. P1, we replace that, 40 millimeter mercury times V1, we are given 12.3 liters. is equal to B2, which is 60 millimeter mercury times V2, that is what we are finding, times V2. So we have now substitute what we have in our equation. So P1 is 40, V1 12.3 liters, P2 we are given with 60 millimeter mercury, and V2 is what we are finding. So to get now V2, we divide 60 millimeter mercury on this side, and on the other side we divide with 60 millimeter mercury. So let us cancel this together. That is 60 millimeter mercury, we cancel with 60 millimeter mercury, and then we cancel millimeter mercury with that. So we are now remaining with V2 is now equals to, here we are remaining with V2 is equal to 40 times 12.3 all over 12.3 liters all over what? 60. So can we find that? Can we find that? So that becomes, so that will give us what? 40 times 12.3, which is 492 all over 60. So that is 492 divided by 60. So V2 is equal to 8.2 liters. 8.2 liters. So that is how you find what? With V2. Okay, that means now 8.2 liters is at a pressure of 60 millimeter what? Mercury. So that is now first example of Boyle's